Hello and welcome to MLC 7 from the Alliant Energy Center in Madison, Wisconsin, where we had an impressive turnout for Major League Combat and the formation of the first MLC Women's League. I'm Jason Garfield and this is Major League Combat. For the past 12 months, Major League Combat has been a male-dominated sport, but in Madison, Wisconsin, 10 iconic women donned the MLC jerseys and changed the sport forever by forming the minimum required 2 teams to start a league of their own.
Our team name is Team Angst.
It was more of a team effort as opposed to regular combat, which is more individual. And it was nice to have that presence of a team to help you out instead of just on your own.
It was fun actually strategizing and putting a game plan instead of just going at it.
It was fun watching SUMO playing against people trying to shove each other out of the ring or get each other down. That was a lot of fun.
We had lots of fun playing.
It was great.
Our team name is Team Happiness Club.
Oh, zombies! Zombies was my favorite game because it was the funnest, because you had a chance, even if you dropped, to get back in. Yeah. It was exciting, because it was just like, you don't know who's going to win. Yeah.
This is the highlight of my Madfest, for sure.
Mine too.
Yeah, mine too. It was the funnest thing so far.
Yeah. I think it brought joy.
At first, both teams seemed fond of avoidance tactics. Look at them go. But thanks to Coach Shower's barking zombie strategy from the sidelines, the girls from Team Angst were soon reactivating players and developing strategy. Team Happiness Club continued to execute patient avoidance and unforced error techniques, and of course don't rule out internal sabotage. If the opposing team sports this gesticulation, avoidance techniques may work to your advantage. The gameplay was a little slower at first, as the players learned the different possible strategies that they could implement and then deciding on what they felt would produce the most reliable results. Or the closest thing to that. Most devastating bludgeoning award goes to Mara Modis. Okay, now for you neophytes, here's how Major League Combat works. Teams of 5 go up against each other in 4 unique gameplay formats: Zombie Combat, Kill the King, Sumo Combat, and 360s Combat. Zombie Combat is a 5-on-5 team deathmatch where you have 3 chances to stay in the game. Drop a club, or most likely have one smashed to the ground, and you become a zombie. The zombie cannot move his feet, but he can attack the opposing team if they come within arm's reach. Zombies can even steal clubs if the other team is oblivious enough to bring their juggling patterns close enough to an active zombie. Zombies can also be upgraded to active players if a teammate sacrifices themselves by throwing their teammate one of their clubs. In doing so, they will turn themselves into a zombie. Now lose 2 clubs and you become a paralyzed zombie. Paralyzed zombies cannot do anything, but they can receive clubs from their own team to be reactivated to zombie or active player status. Now lose all 3 clubs and you become a decapitated zombie. And if this happens to you, pack your bags, hide your kids, hide your wife, and hide your husband and get off the field. A team wins when their opposition is reduced to either paralyzed or decapitated zombies. In Kill the King, each team declares one team member as their king. They must protect their royalty with their lives while at the same time trying to take out the opposing team's king. Only the king needs to be taken out to win the round. No zombies in Kill the King. And no kings in Zombie Combat. Sumo Combat lines up each team to combat each other one-on-one in a 12-foot diameter circle. Players may either attack their opponent's clubs or try to shove them out of the circle. The winning player stays in, the losing player goes to the back of their line. The team with the most wins at the end of the round wins Sumo Combat. And finally, in 360s Combat, each team chooses 3 players to go one-on-one against the opposing force in a 1-minute 360s Combat round. The player who executes the most 3-club 3-up 360s within 1 minute wins the round. Of course, you can also choose to attack your opponent, which sometimes makes it difficult to do 360s. Team Smugheads went up against Team Money. Both teams comprised of Jugheads, which is a juggling club from Medina, Minnesota, and some innovative tactics were debuted. My favorite had to be the upper to lower gluteus maximus sumo shove, temporarily getting a little air, and then winning the round. Team Smugheads destroyed Team Money to advance to the finals. Back from their first international win in Quebec was the returning champions Team Play, who effortlessly made it through the quarter and semifinals with only a few aberrations in what otherwise were flawless victories. Most consistent Team Play member Joe Showers had this to say about the team's semifinals opposition.
I don't mean to put them down or anything, but they seem kind of ragtag. Like, we know each other. We'd all individually played combat with one another at one point in time, and it seems like these guys have just met each other all today.
After temporarily eating his words, and what seemed like a bizarro sumo incident, and an interesting tactic of using a paralyzed zombie as a force field, and a few diligently timed zombie reactivation attempts, Team Play dominated and pushed through to the finals to square off against Team Smugheads. And let's just take a moment to commend Joe Showers for a much improved 360s connection technique. When we come back, the MLC 7 Finals. Team Smugheads versus Team Play for the title of MLC 7 Champions. Back in a moment.